Have you ever clicked on something you knew would destroy you, but did it anyway? That's how it started. A quiet Saturday morning, the kind where you plan to clean out a few digital files and maybe organize your desktop for the first time in 6 months. I wasn't snooping. I wasn't even suspicious. I was just doing routine cleanup on our shared laptop, the one Aubrey and I used for wedding planning, vacation bookings, budgeting apps. We'd been married for 8 months. Things weren't perfect. No marriages. But I believed in us. Believed in her. No passcodes. No secrecy. I never once thought I needed to watch my back. I'm Gavin Mercer. I build highways and hospitals for a living. I don't do drama. I don't do suspicion. I show up. I build. I trust. But then I saw it. A folder. Sitting right there on the desktop. Goodbye. Do not open. I stared at it for a full minute, like it might vanish if I blinked too slow. Every part of me screamed, close the lid, walk away. But I didn't, because when a person leaves a door slightly ajar, some part of you wants to know what's behind it, even if it burns. So I clicked. Inside was one video file. No password, no encryption, just a clean, cold label. 2 days before the wedding. Full.mp for my heart did something strange. It didn't race. It stalled, like my body knew before my mind did. I pressed play. There she was, Aubrey, hair curled, makeup done, glass of champagne in hand. She was laughing, surrounded by her friends in a fancy hotel suite. Bachelorette decorations behind her. It looked normal, safe, until it did in single quotes t. 2 minutes in. She handed her drink to a friend and walked out of frame. The camera stayed rolling, and I heard a voice say, "She's going now." I should have stopped right there, but I didn't. The footage cut to a hallway, then a hotel door. Room 714. She entered alone, but she wasn't alone inside. 3 men were already waiting, and one of them was Tyler. My cousin. The same cousin who toasted our wedding, who hugged me at the altar, who said, "You found a good one, Gav." That's when the first crack formed inside my chest. I slammed the laptop shut and sat frozen for a full hour. No thoughts, no rage, just silence. Later that night, I opened it again, watched the full 58 minutes. From her laugh at the door to her lipstick-stained goodbye, the video didn't explode my life. It split it down the center, quiet, brutal, and irreversible. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I didn't scream. I didn't even cry. I went to bed next to her like I didn't know a thing. Because something in me, something I didn't know I had, whispered, "Don't react. Document. Observe." And that's exactly what I did. You ever look at someone and suddenly realize they were a stranger the whole time? That's what it felt like waking up next to Aubrey the morning after watching that video. She stirred, mumbled something about coffee, kissed my cheek, and padded barefoot into the kitchen like nothing had changed. But everything had. As the smell of coffee filled the air. I stared at the ceiling, replaying it. Not just the betrayal, but how effortless it all was. How she laughed. How Tyler touched her like he'd done it 100 times. How her friends giggled in the background like it was part of the itinerary. To understand why this gutted me, you have to know how we started. Aubrey and I weren't one of those whirlwind couples. We didn't fall in love over some drunken night or grand romantic gesture. We met at a building permit office, to people waiting in line with thick folders and dead batteries. I offered her my portable charger. She offered me a smile that slowed time. We were the kind of couple who didn't rush. We built slowly, brick by brick. She was patient, organized, always 5 steps ahead. I was steady, grounded, and maybe a little boring, but I liked boring. Boring meant safe, and safe was what I thought we were. So when the video shifted from the party suite to room 714, and she walked into that private space with Tyler, I felt the floor tilt under me. Tyler kissed her first. Soft, familiar, like it wasn't new, like it was something they'd done before and planned to do again. Her hands slid behind his neck. She whispered something in his ear. He smiled. The other two guys cheered, but I didn't hear the words anymore. I just watched her face, calm, certain. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't drunk regret. This was chosen. I paused the video, closed my eyes, tried to tell myself maybe it stopped there. Then I hit play again. They disappeared onto the balcony. The camera didn't move, but when they came back in, her dress strap was off her shoulder, and Tyler was fastening his belt. Her lipstick was gone. His shirt was untucked. One of her friends screamed, "Woo, our girl's getting her last taste." Everyone clapped, like it was a show, a finale, and I was the punchline. I stopped the video. Sat in the dark for hours. No tears, just cold, clear silence. That night, well, she slept next to me, the same woman I promised forever to. I emailed a private investigator named Ron Packer, known for corporate infidelity work. Discreet, professional. I wasn't going to accuse. I wasn't going to rage. I was going to build my case, because I knew this wasn't just a bachelorette mistake. It was a pattern, a lie dressed in lace, and I wanted every brick of it exposed. Ron Packer was as sharp as they said, ex-military, ex-cop, and now the guy people called when trust went missing. I handed him everything: my laptop, cloud logins, phone backups, even an old iPad we hadn't used in a year. 2 days later, he called me back. His voice was calm, but his words detonated something in me. It wasn't just one night. "Gavin," he said, "it was a full-blown affair. Started before your engagement." Her messages go back 10 months. 10 months. That meant the affair started before she said yes to my proposal, before she moved in, before we merged bank accounts, bought rings, and booked a venue. He sent me a compiled PDF over 400 pages of messages, images, call logs. Tyler wasn't just some drunk mistake. He was her plan A, and I was her safety net. One message from Tyler read, "I wish it could be you and me. Always." Her reply, "It can't. Gavin is the stable one. We need him for now. Need, not love, not respect, not partnership. Just utility." Another message, 2 weeks before our wedding, "I'll always love you, but marrying him is the right move for where I'm at. He'll never suspect." I read those words and felt my soul leave the room. This wasn't betrayal. This was a heist. And I was the mark. I didn't cry. I reread the prenup. Back when we signed it, she insisted on having her own legal counsel. Said it was just a formality, but I'd had it written by my father's firm. Ironclad and painfully specific. There was a clause buried in paragraph 9.4. Infidelity prior to or during the marriage, if proven by written or visual documentation, forfeits all claims to joint assets, alimony, and property division. She signed it, initialed it, smiled while she did it. And now I had everything I needed: the video, the messages, the dates. I called my attorney that night. He said 3 words: "We're going to bury them." But I wasn't looking for revenge. Not really. I wanted her to know I knew. So the next evening, I queued up the video on our living room TV, left it paused at the frame where Tyler kissed her. Then I waited. Aubrey came home around 6 p.m., laughing on the phone. She had takeout in one hand and a bottle of wine in the other. She walked in, kissed my cheek, and asked, "Movie night?" I didn't say a word. I hit play. At first, she smirked, thinking it was an old vacation clip. Then Tyler's face filled the screen. She froze. The bag hit the floor. I let the video run 30 seconds before I paused it. Then, I set the printed dossier on the coffee table. She stared at it like it was on fire. When she tried to speak, I raised a hand, calm, steady. I said, "I'm not asking questions. I already had the answers." Then I slid a blank sheet of paper toward her, a pre-drafted confession agreement. All she had to do was sign. She trembled. Then whispered, "I can explain." I pointed to a highlighted line in her own message. "Gavin is the stable one." Her face collapsed. I didn't yell. I didn't curse. I just said the last words I'd ever say to her as her husband. You used the wrong man, she signed. 3 weeks later, the court stamped our dissolution. She left with her clothes, her jewelry, and her shame. I kept everything else. And then, 6 months later, I met Melissa. She wasn't flashy. She didn't play games. She looked me in the eye and told the truth, even when it hurt. One evening, after a quiet dinner, I opened the same laptop to check something. That folder, "Goodbye, do not open," was still there. But this time, I didn't. I deleted it. And just like that, it was over. Not with rage. Not with revenge. With peace. Because sometimes the cleanest revenge is healing without them.